I think I speak for most of the Thomas fandom when I say the wooden railway models and sets were goated to a legendary status as one of the best toy lines to exist. I still own mine, and they show their age in a significant amount. Considering some of them are from the early 90s to the early 2000s, they've experienced normal wear and tear. There's one flaw that I think they had, and it was their design some years. And I'm not talking about Thomas Wood, which is a totally separate thing, and it was Mattel's way of saving money and at the same time producing the ugliest fucking toys on the planet. I'm talking about the original wooden railway we all grew up with here. There's a select few of the original models that look nothing like what they were based off of in the show or in the books. And we're going to go through some of them today. I'm starting things off here with a piece of rolling stock that's a character in its own right. The Chinese Dragon. The Chinese Dragon is certainly a special model to the Thomas universe. The episode for which it was part of was hilarious and fun. Thomas, being sick of Percy teasing him over scaring him as a ghost, receives a special freight train with a massive paper ornate Chinese dragon for a carnival on Sodor. With Percy getting stuck in a siding for the night, Thomas uses the dragon to spook Percy as he drives past him.
Percy woke up with a start. "Help!" cried Percy. "I'm not going to open my eyes until my driver comes."
Now, I am not gonna lie, the first time I saw this as a toddler, the face on the dragon scared me, but I wasn't afraid of it for very long. Considering this being a character in his own right, by design alone, you would think the wooden railway toy line would do it justice. Right?
Wrong!
And here it is. This is what I owned as the wooden version of the Chinese Dragon. What the fuck am I looking at here? This is such a far cry from the design we see in the show. This is no dragon. This is Big Bird getting his head surgically removed and stuck on the front of a freight car. This looks nothing like it did in the show, and it's really underwhelming. The tail looks awful, the face is pathetic, the colors are alright, but come on, what is this face? Thankfully, someone noticed this in the design department and changed it into a more accurate looking version later on. But this was the first design for it. The second design too looks like the dragon had a big snort of crack. But the final design that we got was very show accurate. But those first two just so silly looking. In Donald and Douglas's debut episode, this spiteful brake van might be the first rolling stock character to get killed on screen and then put back together by the end of it, quite by his own doing because of his bad behavior and lack of care. Throughout the episode, his expression has had this resting bitch face effect. And this was the only face mask developed from the show, as it never changes throughout the episode. So if this is what it looks like in the show, what's up with the toys? Jesus Christ, he looks like Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Look at that Grinch-like smile. I had to look in the books to see if the design was if that's the design they were referring to more, and it's close, but not that close. My god, this is a straight-up supervillain face. Not the face of someone who has a personality that's spiteful. Then again, in the books, the face was more a bit evil and mischievous looking. So I guess the model makers were trying to combine both the books and the show's design, which is a good balance, and I really don't have too many qualms about it, but it's just such a... If you only watched a TV show and never watched the books, and this is the face you get on the brake van, it's just you're like, what the hell? I didn't know he was this evil. Harold the helicopter has gone through quite an evolution in terms of design. His first design is very blocky and angular and a bit too fat. I really don't know how to describe it that much. He looks like a sugar cube. His second design, which was a little bit smoother and more rounder, but he still looked like he was kind of fat and made out of marshmallows. That or the Michelin Man's personal helicopter.
Changes.
It wouldn't be until the CG series that we got this round, sleeker design that finally looks more show accurate. albeit the face from this angle is a little creepy. And real life accurate, as his basis is on that of a Sikorsky S-55 helicopter. Now, this wouldn't be a Thomas video without Thomas himself. Sorry. And I'm just gonna state that I had 3 Thomases growing up. One from the 90s, another from 2004, and a motorized one from the same year of 2004. The 90s Thomas, while this toy line was still taking off and the engines didn't even have tube-like funnels, instead they had these round little niblets. And they didn't even have the red stripes across their tenders and boilers. It was just a solid primary color. The most important part of these engines, though, is the face. If it didn't have a face, it wasn't Thomas related. Every Thomas character needs a face. But why did Thomas's face creep me out a little bit? The problem with it is it sticks out way too far. It's like Thomas is this non-faceless sausage being pressed through the smoke box of a locomotive. Or, dare I say it, that creepy animation of Thomas being a soft-bodied caterpillar creature that occupies his boiler like a shell. It's just an uncomfortable look. Like someone took Thomas's face and crossed him with the enormous girth of Jay Leno's chin. Now, I could possibly go into a rant about how Mattel dumped most of their cash into producing Bubba and severely cut back on the level of detail in the wooden Thomas toys. I love their brilliant marketing strategy here, titling these low-budget wooden railway toys as a new revamped, rebooted version called Wood.
Wood.
Despite some wacky, weird, and sometimes uncomfortable flaws in the designs, there's very few of them, and it's still the #1 toy line for Thomas in my eyes. And I'm probably going to hold on to my own wooden railway toys until I have kids of my own someday, so I can pass on the things that I grew up with, and maybe they can learn something from it. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching.